So the Premier League is on again this weekend. We just went through the first rounds of fixtures. So let's have a look at match day 2 of 38 for this season. I'm going to give you 5 games that you should be looking out for this weekend. 10 matches on in total, all taking place this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Let's have a look at what we're likely to see. So I'm going to start with the early kickoff on Saturday, that being Brighton and Hove Albion against Manchester United. Both sides winning their opening games of the season. Brighton emphatically beating Everton 3-0 at Goodison Park. Manchester United winning solidly but not too spectacularly against Fulham 1-0 at Old Trafford. How do I think this game is going to go? Well, Brighton are absolutely on a high right now. Man United, there's still a lot of injuries around the squad. They're not quite going on all cylinders. I'm going to go for a draw with this one. I think it's going to be a difficult game for Man United. I can easily see either side winning, particularly Brighton at home. I really like their manager. I really like some of their players. But I do think overall their actual quality will probably come up against a bit of a stern test in Man United. I think Man United will probably be quite difficult to break down as well. So I'm going to go with a draw. I'm going to go with 1-1 in this one. Next up, we've got Tottenham against Everton, one of the Saturday 3 o'clock games. Spurs disappointingly drew against Leicester City in the opening game of the season, that taking place on Monday night. They were ahead in that one and they were the better side overall, but they failed to take their chances. Everton were absolutely humiliated at home 3-0, like I just said, by Brighton. They currently sit bottom of the league. We've got a side that, well, two sides that really need a win, really need a good result. Everton are going to be set up to go for the draw. Sean Dyche is going to try and frustrate Tottenham as much as he can during this game. I don't think Everton are going to have enough to hang on in this though. I'm going to go for a Spurs win and I'm going to go with 3-1. I'm going to go with being relatively comfortable for Tottenham. I think they've got a good side, but I think they're just going to make some mistakes like they did against Leicester, but I think they'll get the first win of the season against Everton this weekend. Next up, another Saturday 3 o'clock game, this time a London derby. 2 London derbies in a row for Crystal Palace. They play at Selhurst Park against West Ham United. Now, I've already spoken about Crystal Palace in quite a bit of depth. I think they've got a good side. I really like their manager, and the same can be said of West Ham as well, obviously getting Julian Lopetegui in and a lot of new players too. But how do I see this one going? Well, Palace in a sense were a bit unlucky to lose against Brentford, having that goal controversially ruled out, the Eze free kick. West Ham were beaten fairly comfortably by Aston Villa in their opening game at home. They could have got something had they taken their chances, but they've got a lot of new signings. They still need to gel and get used to each other. I think this is going to be a draw, to be honest. I'm going to go with another draw with this one. Not particularly exciting, but I'll go for a few goals in this draw. Let's go with a 2-2 draw between Palace and West Ham. Next up, I'm going to highlight the late game on Saturday, Aston Villa against Arsenal. Two sides that got into the top 4 last season. Arsenal coming so close to winning the Premier League last season, of course. Both sides got up onto a good start to the season, really. Arsenal solid, a little shaky and unspectacular at times against Wolves, but they still got a 2-0 win in the end. And I don't think Wolves are a particularly bad side either, really. Villa got an impressive away win against West Ham. West Ham predicted by some to get back into Europe, to really upset that top 6, top 7, top 8 really in the Premier League. I think they'll fall just short of that, but Villa, they've got an amazing squad. They've made some great signings. I think this is going to be a really, really entertaining game. But who's going to come out on top? Well, I'm going to go with neither team to come out on top. Oh no, I'm going for a third draw here. I'm going for another draw. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in this one. I would love to see Arsenal winning. I'd love to see them win. I'd love to see Villa win as well. You know, real feel-good club at the moment. But I think these two are relatively evenly matched, and therefore I'm going for a draw. A score one though. Let's go with entertaining draws. The last of my 5 games that I'm going to highlight is Wolverhampton Wanderers against Chelsea. Now, Wolves obviously lost their first game of the season against Arsenal. I just mentioned that. Chelsea were well and truly outclassed by Manchester City. There is very much a dark cloud hanging over the club. They'll also have to play in midweek in the Conference League as well. Although, to be fair, they have the squad depth for it. They've got like 40, 50 players on the books at this point. So if anybody shouldn't be complaining about not having enough fit players, it's going to be Chelsea, because they've got like 30 of them. But who's going to come out on top in this? Well, I'm going to go for an upset. I'm going to go for a bold prediction here. I'm going to go for Wolves to win 2-0. I just think there's so much going on with Chelsea right now. and they're a bit of a sorry state of a club, really. They've got so many players, but not enough positions to play them in. They've got players that are unhappy. They've got players trying to gel, trying to get used to the squad. They've just lost Conor Gallagher as well, which I think is a huge loss for him. I think it's such a bad decision they're selling him. But there we go. I'm going to go for a Wolves win in this one. Let's see what happens. Guys, which games are you going to look out for this weekend? Let me know your predictions in the comments below. And of course, keep it subscribed to thefootballchronicle.com to see much more football content just like this.